Do you think they know how valuable they are to us, that we're sacrificing such a great thing?
That's unreasonable to me.
Guys, you mean a lot to us. We're willing to sacrifice.
You mean a lot to her.
We're willing to sacrifice our time with the fan so that you can hear us better. Don't be grumpy about it.
I am grumpy. Hey everybody, welcome to Life Worth Living. My name is Michael.
I'm Nora. He doesn't like you guys.
And today we are going to talk about our first time together in the Solomon Islands.
Our survey trip that we took about 2 months after we got married. Less than 2 months after we got married.
Or our second honeymoon.
I suppose it was 2 weeks, right? But we ended up only spending 10 days in country because there weren't any missionaries here that we were able to come and help. We just came by ourselves. And so, it didn't really make sense to us to stay for an extended period of time when we didn't really have anyone to learn from, I guess. Right? So.
Yep. So anyway, today we're just kind of look through pictures and talk about things and
I'll put the pictures up so you guys can see the pictures from our survey trip. That was we're coming up on 6 years.
Yep.
Next month will be 6 years from
August.
our first time together. It was the end of July.
But we celebrated my birthday there.
Yes, because your birthday's the beginning of August.
I know. Okay. All right. Well,
The flight was long.
the flight was
That was my longest flight ever.
That was your longest flight ever.
Up until that point, I had gone to Africa, but that was only 8 hours.
I just remember that when we arrived in Brisbane, I don't know why, but I always look on this breakfast with fondness.
It was so good.
I think it was because the airplane food just was not yummy at all.
That could be. I don't remember, but I do remember that breakfast sandwich being really, really good.
Here's a picture of us
I
on
w-
the airplane.
I will say this: the airplane ride was a lot more enjoyable without kids, pre-kids,
Yes.
because we could just do whatever we wanted.
Plus
and
we
relax
were-
and sleep.
Plus we were happily married. We were 2 months happily married. Now we're 6 years happily married.
I was gonna say, are we not happily married anymore?
When we first saw the Solomon Islands for the first time, what did you
man.
do? I know what you did.
Oh, you do? Because I don't remember.
She started tearing up.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. After
you think about it.
it had been several years already at that point that, looking forward to it, and the answer of so many prayers and so many things. And we didn't even, so first for our survey trip, we didn't even know we were actually going to be able to take our survey trip. We had been praying for it for over a year.
And not a dime had come in.
Literally, our honeymoon was a gift. Where we stayed was a gift, wedding gift, and all of our food and everything we did on our honeymoon was money that we got from our wedding.
The day that after our wedding, that afternoon, we took all the cash from the cards and we endorsed all the checks and with a note for my mom to cash them that next Monday.
We had no money.
We had no money. We were college students. We were debt-free college students.
But we had no money.
We had no money.
And so then we didn't have anything for our survey trip, and it was expensive. It's very expensive to come. Literally 2 weeks before we were really wanting to go, because Michael had to go back and finish his semester at school. A family paid for our flights, which was $6,000.
And then our church took up a big offering and paid for the hotel bill and all our food. And
it was literally 2 weeks. So we didn't know we were even going. Then 2 weeks, if we find out we're going, we have 2 weeks to plan, prepare, get everything ready, get on the flight. And so the emotions were immense.
When we were walking through Brisbane Airport, all of a sudden I was watching, and all of a sudden I see these people, and they were in bison outfits, like bison buffalo.
That was our impression of Australia.
Yeah. What on earth was that? But anyway.
These are not in order. Here we go. This is starting in order.
Yeah, there's your first.
That was my first. Yeah, that was my first glimpse of the Solomon Islands. I was really sick when we first got here. Do you remember that?
You were sick.
Why was I sick?
I can't remember, but I think I ended up eating supper alone that night.
I just remember I was really sick and I had to go to the bathroom really, really bad. And we got picked up from the airport and went directly to a prayer meeting.
Yeah.
And
all you wanted to do is
to go to the bathroom really, 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 really bad.
And there's
and
us at the prayer meeting.
that is us at the prayer meeting. I was so sick.
This was our first morning. This was our first breakfast because I think I ended up eating supper alone that night.
I don't remember.
And then this was our breakfast the next morning.
We ended up staying in the Mandana, which is a really expensive hotel, but we didn't have any idea about hotels here or anything, so we found something online and booked it online.
After living here for 2 years now, we feel like we could have done that whole trip for about $1,000 to $2,000 cheaper because
just without the hotel
knowing
expense.
what we know now.
And the food was not good at the hotel. It was just not good.
Yep. We were able to attend church with one of our friends here. Actually, he goes to our church now.
Yep. Yeah,
And,
they're in our church now. And that, I mean, it's just funny seeing the pictures because it was so long ago. And now their little girl is good friends with Corban. And
and
so
she loves Kezia.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. But they were meeting in a school, so a lot of these pictures are, we have pictures from that school. It was a high school they were meeting in.
We drive by that school now every day to go into town.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they're meeting. I haven't made that connection.
My first message I preached.
That was the next Sunday.
No, was
it there? Was it this one?
No, I think I preached my first message here that time. Yeah, no, because I've got my sermons right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was what did you preach?
I have no idea.
You don't remember?
I think it may have been on David. I can't remember.
Yeah. We went to the hospital, which that's crazy seeing these pictures now because now that we've lived here, it's become so normal. But then, it was just a very
and honestly, it looks
new
nicer
experience.
in these pictures now.
It looks cleaner in these pictures than it does now, unfortunately.
Yep.
But oh well, maybe they had just cleaned it
Oh
then.
my, we were holding hands. We haven't said anything about PDA here, have we?
Yeah, we did decide to hold. I mean, we were newlyweds, right?
Yeah.
We held hands. I can't. It is kind of funny looking back because they do not.
Yeah, and
really
Joseph
do
was
that.
such a good sport about it.
He
And like
was.
when you wanted to take
We
a
wanted
picture.
to take kids. Well, we'll talk about that later. Then here's from the market. Our trip to the market. Those are $50 for this watermelon.
That's about the same.
Yep.
Prices haven't changed much.
The pictures are kind of blurry, but
I don't know. As I'm going through these, like, and now that we're living here and I'm seeing these people, like, I wish I could just know where they are now.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when we get to the little kids.
There's a panorama picture of the market. It's just neat to look back now when that was my first impression of everything, and it was overwhelming.
This area is
and amazing.
much cleaner now. This area was a lot more clean back then.
I think overall,
Yeah, pretty much. Everything.
unfortunately, the whole
That
place
boat
is
still
a lot
looks the
cleaner.
same.
Yeah, it does though. The wreck.
The wreck.
That Corban talks about every time we drive there.
Birkin. The daddy, the
Boat
boat's
broken.
Birkin. Birkin boat, daddy. Birkin boat.
Oh, there's us in front of the picture. We should take that picture, a reenactment picture. And there's your T-shirt.
Yep, there's my
Michael's
infamous
famous Watchman t-shirt. That
Brother
was
Melly, if you watch this, now this one's for you.
Michael wore that T-shirt a lot on our survey trip, and it's in several pictures, unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, do you remember that meal?
Oh, this was the worst meal
it was
ever.
so bad. It was so bad. I got so sick.
The meat was not even cooked.
It was raw fish, I think, and capers, or I don't. It was just really bad.
And it was like on a soggy tortilla shell or something like
Yeah.
that.
It was just not good. but-
Red Bowl. This was our first time at the expat store.
Wow. And I took all these pictures of the spices because our missions professor told me to make sure that, taught us in our class to make sure you know what spices you can get there and what spices you can't. So I took pictures of every spice.
This was us on our way to Malaita for the first time. And when we first really started our process to come to the Solomon Islands, we were first planning on going to Alki, Malaita, and starting a church there. And until about 4 weeks, no, it was like 8 weeks before we left,
It was just a couple months before
we
we moved.
decided to switch and move to Honiara and change to Honiara. And
So most of our survey trip we spent in Alki, actually, and on Malaita. We spent a couple days here before and a couple days here at the end.
here we are on the beach outside of Alki.
Yeah, and there's us kissing.
Yeah, and where our friend Joseph was such a good sport about it.
We were just newlyweds.
Yeah. And
There's the hotel.
our hotel.
I
with
took a
mosquito
picture of
net.
the mosquito
Now
net and
that
our
mosquito
snacks.
net's the one over Kezia's.
Yeah, we still
bed.
have it. Then we hiked back into a village, which was just a lot of fun. That was just really neat. And it's crazy seeing those kids. I'm sure they're so...
This was the time where
Much
you were
bigger
able
now.
to get a good idea of the Bible knowledge of the kids.
Yeah, that was a Sunday school class, and I was kind of asking them just typical Sunday school questions and giving them candy and things.
I haven't been to Auki in a long time, but I wonder how the market looks now, because I'm looking at the market here,
So clean.
and it's super clean.
I remember on Deputation we talked about this a lot because we talked
always
about
like-
how overwhelming the market in Honiara was and how it was so dirty. But then when we went to Auki and Malaita, the market was so clean and nice,
and we were excited.
and we were
about
all
being-
excited about going to Auki because the market was so clean. And it's
No.
kind of funny now because here we are in Honiara. But, oh well,
There's the Shell gas station there in Auki.
is that still there?
Yeah, because I always made the joke on
Gas.
Deputation that I don't think your Shell rewards will work there.
Yeah, as I'm looking through these pictures and the ones
I'm
we showed during our
I'm
presentation.
remembering all my little like jokes that I would say.
Yeah. Oh man.
You want to talk about the kids and what every time the thing that they thought was hilarious.
Oh yeah. Well, I was playing catch with them there, and they just thought it was so hilarious. Whenever I messed up and dropped the ball, they just laugh and laugh and laugh. That was so fun, and the blonde hair.
And this is where I really began to think, like, man, where are these kids now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because this was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so much older and bigger and grown up now.
Right. Some of them. I mean, they're definitely all in school.
Yeah.
Oh, that feels really nice right now, especially with no
No fan on.
fan on me.
Got thread sticking out.
Corban would love Fabora,
He would love that. I think he would even be brave enough to get in the river.
and he would hike. He would.
He would love the
He would
hiking.
love just being able to walk and do things. We really just need to go to Auki.
We do. We need to get back there.
Oh, I remember that got so heavy walking back there. And the roasted peanuts, we still eat those. The Creamios, I don't see anymore. They're now called Chocos.
Cremos.
The
I wonder if they're just from a different country now.
the Chocos are much better.
Yeah.
They're smaller, but they're tastier.
So we went back and hiked into the village and spent the night there. Did you do a Bible study or anything? I talked with the Sunday school kids.
No.
I did like a program with the Sunday school kids. They sang and everything. Just kind of trying to get to know the culture and the village. We spent the night in a house there in the village and had dinner with the head of that village, and that was just really special.
And it was such good hospitality too.
It was. The food was so good. I remember feeling so bad I didn't know Pigeon. Like, because there was an older lady there that she just would smile at me, and she's so excited to meet me.
And when you left, she said, "My Nora."
She called me my Nora, and I wanted so badly to talk with her, but I didn't know any Pigeon, and so she couldn't, and she didn't
And
understand
she's
English.
still alive right now, and that's probably one reason why
We need to get back there. I'd love to be
able.
able to see her again.
Walking through the hospital at
This is the hospital in Auki. What?
I had to laugh at the name of this hospital because I heard it different. I heard it wrong when I first, because it was Kilufi, and I thought it was Kilafui.
Kilafui.
So I was like, wow, what a terrible name for a hospital, but it's Kilufi.
Kalufi.
Kalufi
That sounds
Hospital.
better, I guess.
Walking through.
We walked to the hospital from our hotel.
This is the picture right here that we use as like a good example of a house we wanted to live in.
which is still pretty accurate.
Right here.
So, although we're not on stilts right now in our house, but
I do miss stilts.
oh yeah, I had brought glow sticks,
And-
and this picture is terribly blurry, but they just loved it. The kids loved it, but the older ladies and the ladies and the moms just loved it. They thought it was great because they put it as bracelets, on their wrists, and they thought it was great. Oh, this is walking to the beach. Oh, that poor little dog. Stop. It's not funny. Move on. We're not going to talk about that.
What, we're not?
No.
Okay. Well, they're going to be wondering what it's about now. So there was this dog.
So it's
this
adorable little puppy
and,
you're seeing a
and it was
picture
next
of.
to the lake that's really close to Auki. For the Solomon Islanders that have been to Auki know about Auki. That's the big freshwater lake that's close to Alki.
Really close to the ocean.
Well, anyway, apparently there's a lot of crocodiles in there and all around, and from what we've been told. Well, anyway,
Joseph said I said, "Oh, that's such an adorable puppy," and Joseph, our friend, our Solomon Island friend, said it's going to be a crocodile snack.
Yeah, if
later.
he doesn't get away.
Broke my heart.
Yeah.
I wanted to take it home with me right then.
Oh, here's a picture of our first coconut.
Look at you. You're not in your Solomon Island or your Watchman
actually
shirt.
in a purple polo.
You're actually in a polo. I think that's why we used that picture.
This is way back when we looked at a house.
Yeah, I
in
forgot
Alki.
about that.
Here was some more hike.
That's all from the.
All from more hiking.
That's all. When we hiked back, that water was so clear. We hiked through a river, and it was just so beautiful. I mean, some of those pictures. Michael got a picture climbing a coconut tree.
Oh yeah. And it was strategically angled to make
We'll
it
show
look
the
like,
real picture.
Do we have it?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh yeah, it's right there. Okay.
He wasn't really climbing a coconut tree. Here's some of the shops it's just weird seeing how new that was then, you know? Mm-hmm. Just walking, lots of walking. We walked down into another village, a small village there. I wanted to sit on the tree there. Do you remember that? I think, and there was a bunch of ants.
We were leaning on the tree at first, and there was a ton of ants.
Yeah.
This was I think my favorite place because it's just like.
I don't know if we can show any of these pictures because kids were naked.
I think we can here, but okay. it was just lined with banana leaf huts and a sand street. It was just
street with sand.
Such a cool.
Yeah, it was right on the beach.
Yeah.
Kids were so cute.
Geckos, our first introduction to geckos.
So I forgot to mention the boat ride.
On the way back. Oh, on the way there.
On the way there, it was horrible, and we actually have pictures of it. The boat ride was just terrible, and Michael had told me that it was going to be calm. There was no problem. The last time he took it, it was super calm, and the boat ride on the way there was really, really bad. I get motion sick, and I think everyone on the boat ride was sick, not just people that get motion sick. I was so miserable, and my elbows were raw by the end because I dug them. It was like a picnic table type thing with a bench and a table, and I dug my elbows in, and I was just it was so bad.
And then on the way back, it was much better because it was a single bow ship.
It was much better, and we sat out on the what do you call that?
And you did fine.
What do you call that area that we sat out on?
Just the observation, like
on
the
walkway.
Deck.
We sat out on the deck, and it was the fresh air, and everything was fine. I got soaked with salt water.
When we got back, our eyebrows had little salt crusties on them.
It's the water, but I
times.
didn't get nearly as sick.
But you did fine until the guy next to you started eating betel nut.
He started chewing betel nut and was spitting the betel nut, and the juices dripping down, and that made me sick.
Yeah,
yeah.
And on our way back, we decided to spoil ourselves and buy steak. And
at the restaurant,
it was burnt to a crisp, and it was expensive.
But the potato was really good, and the beans.
Yeah. And then we went back to Australia and spent a couple of days with our friends there in Australia.
And then went back home. It was quick, but it felt like we packed a whole lot into that small trip, and the main reason was just to kind of get an idea of the pricing, the cost of things.
For you to see the Solomon Islands, because though it was our first time as a couple, it was my second time there.
Yeah.
And so Nora needed to be able to see the field that she'd be calling home one day.
I feel like we got a really good, accurate picture of costs of things, though, on that trip.
We worked really, really hard, and our training in Bible college really helped prepare us for a survey trip and just being able to figure out,
because we didn't have any missionaries to ask about things. We just kind of had to figure it out and find the information
ourselves. Ask questions.
Ourselves.
We went to Solomon Power, and I remember I asked them, I'm like, how much is power? And they said, expensive to us. And at the time, it was super expensive. It's dropped down now. Still super expensive, but it's
not as expensive as it was anyway.
Or when we first got here. It's dropped down by like maybe 20-30% since we've got here. But anyway, that was a lot of fun to look through. And,
reminisce back.
Yeah. And
feels like a long time ago.
Yep. What was your favorite thing of all from the survey trip?
Oh man, that's a hard question, because I don't really remember very much about our survey trip. I mean, looking back through the pictures, it kind of helped to refresh my mind a little bit. I think probably of the trip back into the village, playing with the kids, and also talking with the ladies, just kind of getting just village life. How about you?
Yeah. I kid you not, just being able to do something amazing with you. Yeah, I kid you not, that was my favorite. I feel like because all the amazing and the excitement of being on the ministry for the first time had already hit me.
Because you had already been here
I
before.
had already been there once before.
It wasn't your first time
and
anymore.
so just being able to do all that over again, but just to enjoy it with you again was probably the best part.
Oh, that's sweet.
Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video.
And kind of getting a little glimpse of our survey trip, our first time here together, even
Yep.
though it's been 6 years ago.
That is insane. And,
Crazy, right?
And it's been 2.5 years almost since we've moved here.
Yep. But if you have not already, click the subscribe button. You can follow our videos. We post new videos every Tuesday and Friday. And like the video, comment below. It helps our video be seen by more people. Turn on notifications if you want to be notified.
And if you know of anybody who you think would enjoy the video, please pass the word, or our channel in general, pass the word and let them know about us.
You have a wonderful day.
God bless.